Projections and the letdowns. Now it's hard to make it through the crowd. I'm established. They know I'm established. Finally, your voice is established. I don't look like anything that I've been through. Thank the Lord, He brought me through. I'm established. Hey, hey, hey. You know I'm established.
Said I gained so much weight. The difference between me and Jay. So Jay might feel a little bit uncomfortable. I didn't expect Jay to do this with me. Jay may feel a little bit uncomfortable about this conversation. I won't go too deep into it, but I will rub ahead and we will go deeper if Jay wants to go deeper. So lately, for the past few weeks, Jay has been watching, what's the show?
Charmed.
Why do you like this show, Charmed? First of all, what is this show Charmed about?
Why do I like Charmed?
No, wait.
You asked me one question first.
I said, wait. What is Charmed about?
Charmed is about three witches. No, let me just say this. Three sisters who happen to be witches. And when it first starts out, they don't know about their powers. Excuse me, I had to burp. That ain't cute to burp on in the microphone. But they don't know about the powers, and they kind of figure it out together, and everything that they do throughout the show is, you know, as the power of three. So the power of three is, I'm trying to do this, but instead of this, but the power of three is each one of them individually have their own power, but together they form this power that can't be stopped, basically. So I've just always felt like I'm very closely related to this narrative, only because I didn't know my superpower. I didn't know that I was smart in math and science and writing and reading and everything else. I didn't know that I was a transgender. I didn't know that I was a singer. I didn't know that I was an artist, because I like to draw and paint.
And a wizard.
A wizard, whatever. I didn't know, but no, I at one point in my life did kind of utilize that for, I guess you could say religious. I guess that's a religious practice. Wiccan, you know, the spells and things like that.
That's the devil, bitch.
Because I felt very abandoned by the religion that I was taught at a very young age. And
the religion that you were taught at a young age was Christianity.
Of course.
But when your grandmother died, what you're saying is when your grandmother died, you kind of felt betrayed. Your grandmother dying, your grandmother being removed from you, and the things like people blaming you for lies that you didn't do, you getting a whooping and beatings and being mistreated as a kid.
Correct.
Because you were different.
Right.
And you were predominantly raised, or mostly raised, by your white side, or halfway and halfway, because for half of your life you might have been with your dad and your white side, and for half of your life you might have been with your mom.
Well, for the summer I was always with my daddy, but for the school year I was always with my mama.
Do you feel like they treated you different because you were mixed, or because they were all white?
Oh, my daddy's side of the family?
Yeah.
Oh no, there were blatantly racist people on my dad's side of the family. And my great uncle was very unafraid to express his racism. Now I will say that I never experienced the belligerent behavior about him not liking black people. I don't know if that was because I was blood to him, or if that was because I was just a child and I couldn't help the fact that I was black. If you understand what I'm saying, because some white people feel like that, like mixed kids can't help the fact that they they daddy tainted the blood.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if it was because of that, or if it was because I was a child, or if it was just because I was his blood. But yeah, no,
that's kind of what my grandma went through. My grandmother, you know, my grandmother is white. My grandma Joyce, she was shunned away from her family because she slept with black men. So my dad is dad is black. My mom is white. So my dad is mixed, like Jay, black and white, like Jay. I am black and white, but I'm more, you know, like I said,
more black because your mama is black and your daddy is black and white.
Right.
So you got 3 parts black, 1 part white.
Right.
I mean, presumably, because of course we do 23andMe, honey. You're gonna be damn Indian and every damn thing else. But
exactly. But that's kind of like my white side. She was pushed away because she liked black dick, and it was kind of like her dad and her mom felt like, you know, that black nut done got in you.
He responded, because she's a nigger lover. I'm Kent Wallace. Good night.
Well, damn, you got...
That's what they felt like.
You can dim it down a little bit, shit.
My dad died when I was 6. He was hung in the Forsyth County Jail. I don't know if he hung himself or if he was hung. They say he hung himself, but the people, his friends, say that he was hung. The guards say he hung himself. We really don't know. But I don't know why I just brought that up. I just wanted to throw that in there. Anyway, so Jay been watching Charmed, and I completely understand it. So I'm glad he said that he was practicing.
Excuse me.
I'm glad she said, thank you, sorry. When I curse and when I say he, y'all check me in a nice way, because you'll get checked back or you will waste your time typing a comment and the shit will get deleted. Anyway, what I was saying.
That was not cute.
Jay said she was dipping and dabbling in Wiccan or pagan
religious
or pagan
practices, I guess, whatever.
Right. And so, from my understanding, Jay just wanted to be attractive because Jay was chunky. Stand up now, Jay.
Let me just say that no.
Spells work.
No.
Jay gonna have to do his own her own YouTube channel, or go on the podcast, the sex podcast, and explain to y'all. And we're gonna have to do a show about that. Okay, so check out Lascivious, and Jay will tell y'all how this works.
Now let's not get it twisted.
Jay did a spell.
That's not all. Do you see what he's trying to say? He's bigger. No, because when I stand up, y'all gonna see this ass, and this ass done always been there because I used to get made fun of.
I can't
because my ass was that big. I'm so serious. I'm serious.
If you were fat, you had an ass like that.
No, but it was
small
like
now with an ass like that, baby. This is Jay's natural ass, and Jay wants a BBL. Can you? We can't see.
Damn!
Yeah, that's Jay's natural ass, okay? That's Jay's natural ass.
God damn!
No lie. If can you want to lift up and show your booty cheek?
No, I'm not gonna do
It's
that.
no draws on under that, just to let y'all know.
I'm not finna do that.
That's bare booty. Ain't no draws under that dress.
Nah, I didn't want a BBL because I need some hips.
But Jay wants a BBL so she can get some hips. But what I was saying was, we're so different, and you know, people don't understand the significance of being born gay and being born a certain way. You know, Jay was supposed to be a girl. Nobody can convince me otherwise unless somebody told me this is a demon who is in human form and is made this way because it comes from hell. That's the only way I'll be convinced. Other than that, if Jay was born from Christy, sorry to put blink the name out, but if Jay was born from Miss Christie, then Jay was meant to be a girl. Okay, I've been with Jay for 10 years. We were friends before we got together. I've been with Jay in this relationship for 10 years, and I know my partner was supposed to be born a girl. That's why I say now there's so many transgenders. If you're not looking like Jay, like a female, like men and women look at Jay like a woman, they don't even know that this is and the hormones just started, so the boobs are not big. These are fat. That's mostly fat and some hormones.
Well, that's what titties is just fat.
Right, but Jay hasn't been on hormones for long at all. And this is how Jay looks. I think for a little bit over a year now.
Yeah.
Just a little bit over a year Jay's been on hormones and not even taking them consistently like Jay is supposed to. And look at how Jay looks. I just want everybody to know that. So I say that to say the Bible has a part in there where, I don't know if Jay can look it up, but there's a part in there where the man is going to pull the woman up, or is supposed to pull the woman to Christ, because sometimes women are easily swayed by the devil. They're easily You know,
From the beginning of time, Eve was tricked into eating the apple.
Right. And so I got with Jay. I'm a church boy. Jay we were totally opposite. First of all, we're opposite on the zodiac wheel. So I'm 6 o'clock, Jay is 12 o'clock. Literally. I'm 6, Jay is 12 on the zodiac wheel if you go look. We are the opposite, directly across from each other. And opposite seems to attract, as everybody knows. Whitney and Bobby were Aquarius and Leo. And I believe Michelle and Obama are damn near. Okay, don't argue with me. She January 17th. That in February, Aquarius start January 20th. She January 17th. She right there on the cusp. Or January 18th. She one of them. And Aquarius is 19th or 20th. One of them. She on the cusp, basically, right?
Right.
So that's a Capricorn and a Leo, or an Aquarius and a Leo. Same thing. So I say that to say, when I got with Jay, I was very into like wanting to buy them Bishop Long, which is the church that I grew up at, New Birth. And Jay was doing, you know, she had let me know the things that she was doing.
You're an old lying witch!
And it's just, to me, it astounds me that God will put two people together who are totally opposites in that way. You know, and sometimes I feel it's heavy on me that I want to pull Jay to my level of spirituality. It's real heavy on me when I feel like Jay has a little bit of doubt in God. I don't be wanting Jay to have a little bit of doubt. I be wanting him to have full faith in God. And when I don't have faith, or when I'm doubting a little bit, I want Jay to remind me of God and like, look, have
Well,
faith.
let me just say that the Bible says that all you have to have is a mustard seed size worth of faith. That means that the rest of the world can be filled with doubt if you have a mustard seed size.
But sometimes Jay have this fearlessness, and sometimes it's not always faith, because Jay is fearless. Leo first is what Jay is, okay? Fearless Leo.
Wait, I gotta pee.
They are.
Okay.
But yeah, and so this year I just want to I totally got what I was about to say. But yeah, I know that this year I want our faith to grow more. You know, I'm so glad that God did put us together, and that I am able. And if you guys seen us when we first got together compared to now, our faith in God has grown so much. As you know, our daughter was dropped off at our front door. And not literally, we opened up the door and she was at the front door. I say that figuratively speaking,
Right.
because she was left and abandoned with us, and those are facts. She was left and abandoned with us, and we had no choice but to either turn her over to the government, or upon speaking to the courts, and upon speaking to the family courts, I called the family courts while I had the baby, asking them what I should do. The number that I called was supposed to just be a receptionist. Lo and behold, when I called the number, the lead clerk of the New York Manhattan family courts, the head clerk, family courts, was walking past the phone during lunch hours and seen it ringing, and just decided to pick up the phone. And we explained to him the story. He gave us his number, right?
Right.
And I was able to call him back when I did not follow his directions. He was like, get the baby, bring her up here. And I didn't follow his direction because I was like, no, look, we don't want this baby. We don't want no child. We don't want no baby. We trying to live our life. I mean, we was making some money. We was doing some things and making some money. But we ended up doing it. I ended up doing it. Jay filled out the paperwork and put my name on there. And that was the biggest step and life-changing thing. Jay, it was an agreement. It's not like Jay put my name on there and I didn't tell Jay to put my name on there. It was an agreement that we had, you know, that I would put my name on there. And because I am a forethinker. I'm totally a forethinker. I think ahead. And Jay puts what my thoughts are. She basically puts them together. When I have these big thoughts like this balloon wall, I didn't think of it to this capacity, but Jay put it all together. All of this. I assisted. That's it. Jay did this. And that's what I love about our relationship and about Jay. Where I'm lacking, Jay is right there to pick it up. Now, that's not to say all relationships are not explosive. We can get explosive. A lot of relationships can get explosive.
Air fuels fire. He's
Right.
an air sign. I'm a fire sign.
We're not the perfect relationship like Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King. That's a Capricorn and a Taurus. If you go look them up, they are the perfect relationship. So anybody who's a Capricorn and a Taurus out there, Y'all have a perfect relationship. Congratulations to both of y'all for finding each other. But me and Jay are not the perfect relationship, but we love each other very hard. Okay, crazy in love, especially me.
I'm sorry, I had to yawn, but I had to hold it in.
I said I'm crazy in love, especially me. My Stevie J looks.
We ain't even going there. We ain't even gonna go there.
Whoa.
We ain't gonna go there.
No, I'll keep my eyes straight. Like,
We ain't gonna go there.
yeah. Play with me. Stop fucking hitting Jay up. I was just fuck joke nobody. We just gonna get the fuck on. That's all I'm doing. Anytime somebody try Jay and they're a friend and we hanging out, ask Jay what I do. You can't say what I do. Deuces. You already know. Deuces. I will never talk to them again. They'll never hear from me again. And if they do, they hit me up or I hit them up to say, hey, and bye. Maybe.
I can't explain why I love him. Bossy like Leo do. Got game like an Aquarius. Switch moves after you've been with you.
Other than that, I probably don't even hit them up at all. Like we don't talk. Like it's done and over with. Don't fucking step on my toes and try what's mine. Not my child.
Now wait a minute. No,
Not
wait.
mine.
Now what y'all can do? Y'all can send dick pictures. You know why? Cause he gonna see them anyway.
Y'all can send the dick pictures. Y'all can send the dick pictures. I don't care.
We both
I don't
gonna
care about
see.
the dick pictures. I don't care about a lot of shit I don't really care about. But when we can be face to face with a person and the opportunity can
Present itself and
possibly present itself and you got a nerve to be trying Jay or trying me, it's over with. We done. We never seen you no more. We never hanging out again. And it's a few people, a lot of people that got cut off down to blood. Down to blood. What you talking about?
I'm like a one night stand. I bang you, and then if I don't want to do you no more, I don't do you.
Anyway, yeah, let's move on. So I was just saying, Jay was into demonic stuff when we met. I was into.
now wait a minute now.
I mean, you listen. This is what I say. When you play and dibble and dabble in that stuff, it's not easy to get it off of you. Jay, you can't. What was that? I don't know. Cause the window up. I don't know. She probably have her window up. She might can hear us. I don't know.
Go ahead, honey.
What was I saying last? Oh, anyway, yeah, I don't want to say what I was saying was it's hard to shake a demon or the devil, or when you dibble and dabble, it's hard to shake it. But I think that God, linked us up together. When Jay explained to me about his grandma, it was like this sense of like his grandma caused us to meet. Like, not that she is the cause of our argument or approves of our argument, but it's as if like God wanted Jay to come back, and find him interesting, find him the man that you need. And I think that Jay might have been, or God felt like Jay was straying away or pulling away. And I've strayed away. I've pulled away. I've done things. I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of things. But I always know where to turn to. I'm never a person that's gonna say F God or God don't love me or I'm turning my back on God. Jay say things like that. Okay.
Bitch, did you really just get your ass on here and tell my business?
What?
Did you really just get on here and tell my business in the new year? Did you really just get on here and tell my business? You know what, Claudia? If you don't send this thing to commercial break, I'm gonna cut this ass out and we ain't even gonna have no show.
Go ahead.
Did you really just get on here and tell my business? Bitch, just on here and tell all my business. Did you really just tell all my business? Well, then you need my business to me to tell. Where I feel comfortable. I'm trying to unlock my better self and you trying to take me back.
I'm being honest. But it's a lot of girls say that. And I don't know why it's easy for women, like Poppy with his girlfriend, it's easier for women to say real foul, fucked up shit than it is for a man. Men do, some fucked up shit and do say some fucked up shit. But women can be vile. And Jay probably don't feel where I'm coming from. But y'all can be cutting with y'all words. Very, very slicing and say some things that feel like it's irreversible. You can't take that back. Like, damn.
If I am so much of an issue, I can show you the hand. And here it is right now. Bye-bye.
You falling asleep or something? You about to throw up?
No.
You feel sick?
No.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Baby, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Do you feel sick, baby? You
No,
look
I
like
don't.
you're dazed out. What's wrong?
Nothing.
I'm upsetting you. how we brought in our new year. We brought in our new year just like what I said. We watched Charmed. A marathon of Charmed. Jay got me out of the studio, out of the office, and we watched a marathon of Charmed. I do want to say something about Charmed, okay? I know a lot of people like Charmed.
Like a witch today.
Much better.
Charmed, I was into it, but the first 3 seasons, I was like, it got a little better. Okay, the girl came on with the red hair, her first season, I was like, okay. Then her second season, I was like, and then her third season, I'm like, so wait, why this happening? And I'm starting to ask questions shit. And see, my mama didn't let us watch stuff like that because that was the devil.
I got goosebumps.
I see your goosebumps.
Yeah, when she said calling in the ancestors, who they calling in? Lena probably doesn't know very much about black people at all. We don't call in familiar spirits because we believe in demons.
And Jay it's getting me caught up. Now, Harry Potter, we watching. I'm trying my best not to get into it. Then boom, I see dragons and shit and shit flying across the screen. I'm like, so
I will watch Harry Potter every year till the day I die. At least once.
Anytime it's on, and then you can't even talk to Jay when it's on, as it is a movie that Jay just seen. The whole charm, he like Jay like this. Like,
no, my eyes look like that naturally.
Yeah, I done seen these plenty of times. And I'm like, you seen these plenty of times? Watching it like me, like interested like hell. Like I ain't never seen it before, for real. But I did like it. I didn't think I was gonna like the redhead bitch, because originality is originality. The first 3 girls are the original. You cannot forget the girl name who said hard one thing with her. The first one, Shannon Doherty. Shannon Doherty. She is an original, so you can't knock that. Them first 3 seasons was the shit. But redhead, when she started coming on, the storyline started getting real. Like, damn, this is interesting. It's real interesting. But I'm not gonna keep watching this shit. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing Buffy the Vampire. I'm not doing Sabrina the Teenage
That's what's next. We already done did Sabrina. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer is next. And then I'm gonna watch Angel.
Angel, what the hell is that? That's that man.
Yeah, Angel and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh yeah, I know about Angel. I remember that show. I know about that. Oh, he from Buffy. Mm-hmm. Oh wow,
that was her boyfriend.
Okay, wow. Okay, I remember that guy, that white guy, Angel. I remember when that show first came out. Anyway, yeah, that's how we spent our New Year's, watching Charm, and we watched a little bit of Juanita Bynum because that's my pastor choice. Okay.
She's not a pastor.
What is she then?
She's a prophetess.
Come on.
She's not a pastor.
Will Murphy be asking for too much money.
I don't think y'all understand the difference between pastors and prophets. Pastors read words out of a book and form a statement for church today. Prophetess and prophets
led by the Spirit
are
to give you a word.
Hearing from God. Okay, right. That's not the same.
Prophetess and prophets are hearing directly from God. Preachers are led by the Spirit to give the audience a word
from the book. There's not very many preachers who do not.
And being led by the Spirit is not the same as hearing from God.
No.
Many are called, few are chosen.
Getting directions from Siri is not the same thing as knowing where to go when you walk out the door without having directions.
Right.
Getting a quick pick from the lottery is not the same as choosing the numbers one by one and winning. Okay.
Well, anyway, Happy New Year, Happy 2023. In 2023, what do we think 2023 will bring us in 2023? We're hoping that 2023 will bring us some money. I'm definitely playing the lottery more often.
I am very rich, bitch.
Yeah, I just hope I win.
And hopefully we can have a good show. Jay has this great ass idea that Jay has been trying to work on for about 2 or 3 years now for Halloween. Hopefully this Halloween we can possibly execute this.
We gotta do it like way before Halloween.
Yeah, we would have to do it way before Halloween. The problem is the topics would have to be. Unless we completely mimic their words. We'll tell you guys later. Hopefully we remember at the end of the show to tell you guys what we want to do for Halloween.
No, we're not telling because there's somebody else gonna do it. Ew.
Sorry, excuse me, podcast people. Anyway, let's move on. So, another thing that I wanted to talk about, and we're gonna hurry the fuck up because I know Jay will get up and leave. Okay, Jay quits, come back, quits, come back. One of the things I want to talk about is, what does the age of Aquarius mean? Now, I'm going to play this clip right here, okay? And then I'm going to come back. As a matter of fact, look up what age of Aquarius. Just go to Google and look up what does the age of Aquarius means. Please, could you do that? Don't come in here rushing.
I mean, I don't have to look up what age of Aquarius means to know it means the age of full of shit.
Oh. Ah. Oh my God. Okay.
Certain things you don't say, even if you think them. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Okay.
Aquarius is associated with electricity, computers, flight, democracy, freedom, humanitarianism, idealism, modernization, astrology, nervous disorders, rebellion, and nonconformity, philanthropy, veracity, perseverance, humanity, and irresolution. Now, irresolution, nonconformity, and rebellion, I'm sure you guys all know what that means. All those just mean they go up against the grain a lot. They're not really rule followers, more or less rule breakers. Freedom, humanitarianism, philanthropy. With the current status of the world and our country, the United States, with the race issues that we've faced in our legal system, definitely speaks to everyone wanting to make things better. George Floyd's death was heard around the world. There were people in France, Italy, and Spain, and everywhere else that were holding signs and wearing t-shirts that said, "I can't breathe." So around the world, it's definitely reverberating.
So, according to the Nicholas Campion's research, the age of Aquarius began in the 20th century around 1447 ACE. I don't know what the hell that means. And will go through 3597 ADE, whatever the hell that means. Other astrologers believe it began in 2012. Okay. But around 1999, we also heard an increase in the age of Aquarius and correlations with the Mayan calendar. So really, I don't know. But the age of Aquarius is some deep shit. I thought I was going to be able to find a video explaining what the fuck the age of Aquarius is, but apparently I can't. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, people just need to be more enlightened and woke about the times and what's going on with energy, because energy is real. You know, you can't be walking around the earth and around the world oblivious and just living your willy-nilly life. I mean, some people can, but be aware, be enlightened, understand energy and what we got going on. Watch your motherfucking back, okay? For real. Keep your glizzy on you. That's some lame.
Glizzy.
Said that before, your glizzy.
What's up now, you pump chicks? Yeah. Hey, what's up? We got a problem, Toothpick? I said, do we have a problem?
Nigga, that's a hot dog.
Oh, it is? Oh, I didn't know that. So another thing I want to say is...
Blick.
I said, do we have a problem? Huh? Oh, U-S-U-S-R. Now you better get your stanky asses up out of here before I cause a nuclear holocaust up in here, fool. Let's go. Oh.
What is Mars being in retrograde mean? Because a lot of people don't know. We know what it means, but I'm gonna let Jay explain a little bit, and then we're gonna play this video and we're gonna move on from that. But I want people to understand. I know a lot of people been hearing when the age of Aquarius and Mars is in retrograde. Do they have anything to do with each other? No. Okay. They do have similar, I guess, descriptions or whatever, because it is the stars and
astrological signs. But right. The age of Aquarius is a very, 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 very long time. Well, I'll be dead before it's over.
Oh, it's not me, girl.
Oh yeah, you'll see.
But what
the retrograde of Mars is just basically, I'll just give the simplest example that they gave. When you're in a car and you're driving past another car and it seems like it's driving in reverse, but it's not really driving in reverse. Of course it's not driving in reverse. You're just moving faster than the car next to you, so it seems as though the car is moving backwards. That's what's happening right now. We are on an ellipsis, or an oval shape rotation around the sun. So it's kind of like a slingshot, and when we become closer to Mars and we move past it, because there's a greater circumference of Mars's rotation around the sun than ours. If you can think, the sun is in the middle, there are rings that represent our rotation, or the gravitational pull that the pathways represent, the circles represent. So basically Mars has a bigger circumference than Earth. When we get to the edge of our circumference, we meet Mars and then pass it. So it looks like it's moving backwards.
Our solar system is in constant motion, with all 8 planets and dwarf planet Pluto orbiting around the sun. Most of those planets are visible from Earth, even to the naked eye. If you track them in the sky night after night, you'll notice that their position changes slightly. As they orbit the sun, they appear to move from west to east against a fixed backdrop of distant stars. However, sometimes some of them seem to reverse direction and travel backwards from east to west for weeks at a time before resuming their usual course. This movement is called retrograde motion. But what does that mean, and what exactly is happening here? Retrograde motion is actually an illusion. Earth circles the sun in less time than planets that are farther away from the sun. And when Earth passes one of those distant planets, it seems like that far-off object reverses direction, but that's just a trick of your brain. The planet's moving in the same direction it always has, but our perspective is different. Think of it this way. You're in a car on the highway, and you pass another car in the next lane. It looks like that car is moving backwards. Obviously, the driver hasn't suddenly started driving in reverse, but relative to your car and your momentum, it looks like the other car is actively moving in the opposite direction. Now let's apply that to Mars. About every 2 years, Mars appears to change course in the sky and spends a couple of months traveling backwards. In 2018, retrograde motion began on June 28th, with Mars moving from west to east until August 28th, and then resuming its normal path. But during those 2 months, it's not Mars that's doing something different, it's Earth. It takes Earth 365 days to orbit the sun. Mars needs 687 days to make a complete circuit. We're both in motion, but Mars has farther to go to make it all the way around. Every 26 months, Earth catches up to Mars and moves past it. As our orbital path carries us past the red planet, we experience the illusion that Mars is pulling away from us, rather than the reality, which is that it's really Earth that's moving away from Mars. After a couple of months of this, our perception of how our planets are moving hits the reset button, and Mars appears to resume its forward momentum. And if that isn't weird enough, because Earth and Mars have different tilts to their orbital paths, the shape of the path tracking Mars's backward motion can change between retrograde events. If you observe and mark the position of Mars night after night during retrograde, you'll see a shape emerge. Sometimes it's a closed loop, and sometimes it's more of a zigzag, all depending on where the planets are on their tilted axes. If Earth and Mars orbited at the same pace and remained in fixed positions relative to each other throughout their orbits, Mars would always look like it's moving in the same east to west direction. Since they don't, every couple of years Mars temporarily gets left behind. Retrograde motion was even visible to early astronomers, who were thoroughly confused when they saw this and struggled to explain it. But it was impossible for them to come up with a solution that also fit with the popular idea that Earth was the center of the solar system. It wasn't until the 16th century when the Polish astronomer Copernicus placed the sun at the center of the solar system. And suddenly, all that retrograde motion finally made sense.
you guys again for subscribing. This show is solely about the purpose of telling everybody thank you for subscribing. Yes, it will be on the podcast. For everybody listening on the podcast, you're probably like, what is the purpose of this video? It's just because we reached 10,000 subscribers. At this point, we probably have 11,000 subscribers at the point of this video being out. 11,000 or 12,000, I don't know. But thank you so much to everybody that subscribed. If you're listening to this video, or you're listening or you're watching, hit the thumbs up. Support the podcast. Support the YouTube channel. If you're listening, if you're watching, hit the thumbs up. If you're listening, give us 5 stars on the podcast. Download the podcast. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much again. If you don't know our names, I am Rico Bellucci. This is Jay Bellucci. If you do not know our name, it is not Jai. Say Jai. It's not Jai. It's
I don't know where that comes from.
J-E. J-E. I mean, I guess we should. I guess Jay should. I don't know. I don't know why people say Jai. It's given that y'all from South Carolina. That's what it's given when y'all say Jai.
I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I like sports, and that's it. I like sports, and that's it.
Anyway, thank you everybody that subscribed. Like, I really can't thank you enough. What I do want to say is hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Even if you hit the thumbs down, hit one of them.
Hit the thumbs down, and I'm gonna hit you.
Right. Please, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Haters like, am I going to hell for the things that I could wear? I ain't gonna hide my blessings when I know we've made a way. I'ma sweat it out. Gotta keep my hands high. I only want die. Thank God for what I got. Let's go. Gotta thank them for what I got.
One of the next things I wanted to say is this year in 2023, I really thank God for waking us all up. I was talking about being enlightened, being awoke. God is really awakening his people. People need to know, a lot of people be saying, Jesus is black, Jesus is black. It's being more put out there now. People are really accepting it, not just for a saying, but as a real actual fact, which it is an actual fact. Jay was explaining to me something, and it's so hard to hear, and I know it's hard for white people to hear. White people were not the original race, and I was like, oh my God. And I know I've heard that before, but when Jay said it, it hit a little different. I was like, damn, I'm almost 30 years old, and it was just different to hear that. And I was like, wow, the original race, or not even race, the original skin tone, let's just say that, of a person's, of a human, skin was brown, was of a mocha, right, complexion.
Right.
And it was shocking to hear that white people are not natural people. And I was just like, people need to be more awakened, more enlightened. They need to understand and know Jesus is black. Understand that Sodom and Gomorrah was not destroyed because it was homosexuality going on. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because they were selfish and they partied and did not acknowledge God for all that they had. It was not homosexuality. That's just what the white man has tainted our mind to believe. And more preachers are preaching about that. More preachers are, making it known that homosexuality is not as bad of a sin as church people or Christianity has made it.
If you didn't know, former President Jimmy Carter is a self-described born-again Christian. He's a lifelong Baptist and a Sunday school teacher. So when a reporter asked him in 2015 about Jesus and same-sex marriage, his answer caused kind of a stir.
I never have run across any really serious conflicts between my political obligations and my religious faith.
How about gay marriage?
That's no problem with me. I think everybody should have a right to get married, regardless of their sex. And the only thing I would draw a line on, I wouldn't be in favor of the government being able to force a local church congregation to perform gay marriages if they didn't want to.
Would Jesus approve gay marriage?
I believe he would. I believe Jesus would. I don't have any verse in scripture.
No, but I just intuitively, yeah. No,
I believe that Jesus would approve gay marriage, but I'm not. That's just my own personal belief.
Those 3-year-old comments started going viral again last week, and that prompted the late Billy Graham's son, Franklin, to say this on his Facebook page. Quote, "The Bible is very clear. God destroyed the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah because of homosexuality. We've all heard this so many times that it just sounds like it must be true. But does the Bible actually say that? The passage Franklin is talking about is in Genesis 19. You can read it for yourself. In the story, Lot is living in the city of Sodom with his wife and daughters when two angels, disguised as foreign travelers, come to warn Lot that God has decided to destroy the city. There's no reference here to homosexuality or gay people. We're just told that Sodom is a wicked city. Lot welcomes the travelers into his home for the night, but then an angry mob of the men of the city, both young and old, all the people from every quarter, surrounds the house. The mob demands that Lot send the travelers out, quote, that we may know them, which most scholars agree is a euphemistic threat of gang rape. That one line, that threat of rape, is the single reason people claim that God destroyed Sodom for homosexuality. Nowhere in the Bible does it ever say that there was gay sex going on in Sodom, or that there were gay couples, or even gay people in Sodom. It's just this one threat of gang rape by an angry mob. So, first of all, rape is rape. I mean, we can all agree that what's happening in this passage is sinful and despicable. That has nothing to do with being gay. But does the fact that men threaten to rape other men mean that Sodom was entirely populated by gay men? Of course not. This was a threat of violence, not a request for fun, sexy times. Imagine if the story said that two black men arrived at a rural white southern town in 1950 and a mob threatened to rape them. You wouldn't think, oh, all these southern white guys must have been gay. No, you'd understand that threat for what it was. Pure, vile hatred and racism. That's how this story would have read to the audience of the time. A threat of humiliating violence against these foreigners, letting them know their kind isn't wanted here. Then, when Lot tries to intervene, they tell him, we'll treat you worse than them, and call him a foreigner as well. And we see the exact same thing play out later in another city, in Gibeah in Judges 19. A foreign traveler arrives in Gibeah, a good man takes him in, and an angry mob threatens to rape him, then rapes and murders his concubine instead. This isn't about sexual desire, it's about hate. These threats of gang rape don't mean that the people of Sodom or the people of Gibeah were all attracted to men. These were lynch mobs. And in that context, it makes sense why we're told that God was angry enough to wipe Sodom out. Not just because of this one incident, but because this represented how the city had been for a long time. And I think there's a reason the Bible gives us these stories about threats against travelers. Ancient travelers had to depend on the generosity of others. They couldn't just book a room at the Hilton. And the Bible frequently uses caring for those in need, like widows, orphans, and travelers, as shorthand for indicating that someone is righteous and generous to those in need, or unrighteous and selfish. Here we have stories of cities that aren't just not generous to foreign travelers, they're outright hostile to them, to the point of threats and even physical harm. It's selfishness to the worst possible extreme. According to the prophet Ezekiel, that selfishness is what characterized Sodom. Ezekiel says, "Now this was the sin of your sister Sodom. She and her daughters were arrogant, overfed, and unconcerned. They did not help the poor and needy." And any good Christian theologian should know this. Even televangelist Pat Robertson, who isn't pro-gay at all, was quick to bring this up during a pledge drive.
We have been so blessed in this country, and we need to show our gratitude by taking care of the poor and the needy. You know, this was the sin of Sodom. It was pride and careless ease, and they didn't plead the cause of those who were hurting and needy. That was the sin of Sodom. The Lord, when he pointed out, he wasn't talking about sexual immorality, that it was pride and careless ease, and they didn't plead the cause of the poor.
He's actually right about this. Unfortunately, later readers of the text seem to have misunderstood the passage and invented sexual terms like sodomite and sodomy, forever clouding the public's understanding of the so-called sin of Sodom. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering, the Bible never tells us why God destroyed Gomorrah, other than that it was wicked and Sodom's sister city. I have more to say about this, but I'll save it for another video. In the meantime, though, with all due respect to Franklin Graham, the Bible simply does not say that God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of homosexuality. What it does say, though, is that God cares about how we treat those in need. And frankly, I think that's something we all could use a little more of right now. Don't you?
You know, the Bible is not to be taken literal, and the Bible is not to be praised and worshipped, because the Bible is not God. The Bible is written by men, and me and Jay have sat here on this show and we've said this plenty of times, and we even got argued down when we did our Daryl Walls video. People was just like, "What you mean, David and Jonathan was I didn't say they were gay. I told the story. And from my perspective, from my vision on looking at it, it was that they loved each other like a man and a woman who were married would love each other.
He loved her.
When you think of the Bible and homosexuality, your mind probably goes straight towards those traditional clobber verses that are used to condemn it, despite the fact those are easily disprovable. But have you ever considered the notion that there could be scripture in the Bible that could actually be used to promote homosexuality as something godly? Of course, back then they didn't use the word homosexual, since sexual orientation as we know it today wasn't coined until the 19th century. During biblical times, gender was viewed on a hierarchical spectrum, with even the most effeminate men marrying women to preserve bloodlines, expand land deals, and maintain power if your family had any. People didn't marry out of love or even sexual attraction. And unfortunately, this still exists today, where there are situations in which gay men and women still marry heterosexually, likely due to cultural, family, or church influences. So with that in mind, today we are going to re-examine some relationships in the Bible that by today's standards could be considered gay or lesbian. Number 4, King Saul and young David. Now, I'll admit, this one I've never heard of until I began teaching queer theology. In 1 Samuel, King Saul chooses David to be his armor bearer and to attend to him in private with soothing music. David seems to earn this position by his beauty, his bravery, and his gentleness as a musician. Historically, warriors were often accompanied by younger male companions who share in the adventures and the dangers of their lovers. Similar accounts of love between older and younger warriors are found in later stories of classical Greece, flower warriors in Korea, and samurai love in Japan. Things quickly become complicated for Saul when his warrior son Jonathan also desires David, but more on that in a second. Saul's jealous rage becomes the motor of the story's unfolding, calling Jonathan the son of a perverse, rebellious woman. You know that's not what he said. And accusing him of uncovering the nakedness of his mother, a reference to Leviticus 18. By including this Levitical passage, the author is implying that Jonathan being with David is equitable to Jonathan sleeping with his father's wife. Following this uncomfortable dinner conversation, there are a number of occurrences where Saul seeks the death of his formerly beloved David, but during each of these occurrences, David seeks opportunities to demonstrate his own loyalty to his former lover. And ultimately, after his death, David sings a psalm of lament for both Saul and Jonathan, referring to both men as beloved and lovely. Number 3, Jonathan and David. Immediately after David's slaying of Goliath, Jonathan becomes very impressed with the shepherd boy, with scripture indicating that the soul of Jonathan was bound to the soul of David. Here, Saul's son forms a covenant with David. In doing this, Jonathan fulfills the role that was usually reserved for the older party in a same-sex relationship. Jonathan then takes off his clothes and hands them to David. In so doing, this has been interpreted as Jonathan removing the signs of his authority, his manhood, and stripping to a submissive manner. This covenant is mentioned a total of 3 times, with chapter 23 even reflecting that it was made before the Lord. When Saul's jealousy becomes wrathful, it is Jonathan who seeks to protect David from his father's murderous passion. Meeting in secret, Jonathan expresses his undying love for David, with a lot of kissing.
You shouldn't kiss me like this, unless you mean it like that.
After Saul and Jonathan perish in a battle against the Philistines, David, as already stated, mourns for both of his lovers, but with a greater emphasis placed on the love for Jonathan. Your love to me was wonderful, passing the love of women. David then continued to demonstrate his love for Jonathan by taking in Jonathan's orphaned son. Historians believe that the author of John's Gospel was a Jew himself, writing around 95 AD to a particular group of Jewish Christians who were excommunicated from their synagogues. In other words, John wrote to a group of people who were rejected by their church, an experience that LGBT people can certainly relate to. And given that John's Jewish audience knew the Hebrew scripture story of David and Jonathan, I'd like to propose that this gospel presents Jesus as a new and improved David. This would be theologically sound, since Jewish messianism was based on the belief that the ultimate savior was going to be a descendant of King David. With that said, Catholic tradition has suggested that the identity of this beloved disciple in this gospel may have been John the Apostle. John, of course, is short for Jonathan. So whereas Old Testament David and Jonathan had a love that prematurely came to an end on a battlefield, the love between Jesus as the new David and his beloved Jonathan transcends the battlefield of sin and death through the resurrection. And what an interpretation that would be within the larger message of John's gospel, that queer love can be an example of divine love. And this would also provide for us an historical explanation as to why Jesus never married. In conclusion, the bottom line is this. No one's sexuality is ever discussed in the Bible because, let's face it, what we call heterosexuality was and is the norm and thus the default when it comes to interpretation. I'm not here today to finalize the claims that any of these people were gay. I'll leave that up to the individual reader. Ultimately, I believe this though. The fact that Jesus' sexuality is left ambiguous is a good thing, because it allows him to be a Christ that is universally relatable, whether you are heterosexual, homosexual, or anything in between. Number 2, the Roman centurion and servant.
So, tell me what that means. I did. Love each other. Not to say that they had sex, but they kissed. Who they probably didn't even know what a dick hard was, but they probably got hard. When they kissed, they probably went boing.
Faggot got me feeling like a damn faggot. Faggot, learn how to be a good faggot, okay? You better stop doing that. Faggot.
They know what a dick hard is there.
They probably got hard as rocks when they kissed, and they kissed. They said it was a long, passionate kiss. I think, if I'm not mistaken. And not only that, they cried as they turned away from each other. As they turned away from each other, they cried and reached out. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So, you tell me what that's all about. Although people was on our video telling us that we're going to hell.
Y'all know what movie that's from.
Right.
Or is it his dick? I just don't know which one. The one in his pants or the one in his briefcase. Fuck you. Fuck you. You and your damn child. Already did that.
Oh, that's my movie. Talk about charm, watching that over and over. I can watch that over and over. What's the name of that movie? Holidays are one Bishia. Nicolette and one Bishia. One Bishia, whatever she said. When she painted her wall. Oh my God, that's my movie. Anyway, yeah, so God is enlightening us this year, and God wants us to wake up and know the truth about our true origin. He wants us to know the truth, and he wants white people to know their true origin as well. He does. He truly does. He wants white people to know their origin. And they came from, I think Jay said, or somebody said, they were in a cave.
They weren't in cave. But
they were in a cave
but
away from the sun.
Yeah. Yes. In shelters away from sunlight where melanin would be produced heavily.
And
they
it's kind of like you
pale
go in
and
the
white.
pool and you stay in the pool for too long. And so apparently that one motherfucker, that group of family, and they created all these white people. I don't know. I really don't know. You know, it'll be great if the United States or if the government would release paperwork and keep releasing stuff so that we can know. Because, you know, they know a lot of stuff. They know a lot of stuff that they would hate for us to know because we might get rented. I mean, like, what if they tell us that we were originally on Mars and came to Earth?
But lack of sunlight as much, even as far as like in New York. Since we've been in New York, both of us have gotten lighter.
Yeah, true.
Because there's an absence of sunlight that you don't get typically like you do in Georgia.
And there is sun up here, y'all. It's just not like Georgia.
No, Georgia because the buildings are so low. Right, no, seriously, because the buildings are so low and it's trees and stuff like that around, you get a lot of sunlight. But here the buildings are blocking the sun, then it gets the smog, and then it's foggy, and then cloudy. So you don't get as much sun here.
Yeah, you don't get as burnt. You hear that fog? That fog stops that burning on your skin. Bitch, we done had some foggy days in the summer in Atlanta where that fog smug was in the air, but your ass was still burning like eggs on the sidewalk. Damn, Georgia. It don't play no games. Don't be at Six Flags in the middle of the summer. Ooh, honey.
Feel like
talk about the Georgia
chicken,
scorcher.
a steamed turkey leg, honey.
Right.
Outside on the sidewalk.
So the next note, I'm almost done, baby. The new millennials. The millennials. Since we're in 2023 and I'm about to be 30 years old, I wanted to say, you know what? I'm getting old. I have to accept. Like, I know a lot of people say 30 is not old, but to me, 30 is old. I'm not going to change up now that I'm 30 and say it's not old. Damn it, it's old.
I'm not getting old.
I'm just not old.
If he want to say he getting old, he getting old.
There's a new category, old.
Bitch, old and cold, bitch. Old and cold. Don't tell half the mother story, bitch. Old and cold. You better hope you look like this when you get my age.
So I'm old. They old. My mama old. And my granddaddy old. 3 times old. I'm just old.
Oh, okay. Shut up. That is so stupid.
Because, I mean, like, come on. I can't find me a 23-year-old twink and say, you know, let's have sex. He gonna be like, you're 30 years old, boy, bye.
Faggot.
I'm like, oh, damn, yeah.
When I was a 23-year-old twink, I wanted to have sex with older men.
That's why I'm with Jay now. My little hoe.
Bitch, please.
I'll just kidding. But we do talk real dirty. So go to our lascivious. Like, when I get in that thing, I talk dirty. You finna talk?
No, I was about to laugh because you.
Oh, I thought you was about to cough. What is this? I appreciate these new kids because you know what? Although a lot of old people in some areas of life don't appreciate the young people. Like these old rappers don't want these young rappers coming to take over. But we have to learn to appreciate them because with these young people come new jobs and comes new innovations. You know what I'm saying? Like TikTok. If it wasn't for TikTok, you wouldn't have some of these older people getting paid the way they do. And before you know it, YouTube is going to be questioned by Congress the way Mark Zuckerberg has been. I pray that one day Elon Musk is caught up by Congress and questioned, and I pray that one day YouTube is, because YouTube is still getting over on us over here on YouTube.
Who were they looking for an assistant not too long ago? And they said, hey, we're only going to pay like...
Glorilla.
Glorilla. Girl, with the new kids on the block, child, we all going to be broke, bitch.
Sure, them children in on her. And then she tried to come back and say she giving away money for Christmas, standing up there with all this money, trying to show, I got money, so... Podcast people be like, we don't want to hear you coughing in our ear like that. Damn. I know. How does this sound if they're driving? I'm on the road. I'm headed to Cincinnati from New York.
On the road again.
To the Urban Binge Radio. And, I'm chilling in my car. And I'm like this. And then next thing you know, Justin talking about, oh, shit. Now I done caused the accident. Lord, my coughing done caused the accident.
That ain't my damn problem.
Lord, forgive me. So excuse all the loud noises and coughing and all the loud shit. Excuse us on the podcast. Anyway, yeah, these millennial kids, we need to thank them. Don't hate on them. Thank them and pray for them, y'all. Please pray for them because they are the future and they are going to be the ones that carry on our legacy. So when we're dead and gone and we're looking back at the earth, I'm like, damn, I walked past that little motherfucker on the bus. I should have slapped the hell out of his bad ass. Why the fuck you up here robbing this old lady? God. Get that. Pop! Slap him upside the
But you might be walking past the next Mariah Carey.
I could be walking past the next Mariah Carey too. You're right about that. I told Jay that in New York City, these kids typically turn out to be somebody. A lot of people in the industry, whether that's basketball, not NFL. NFL, most of those boys, when you go look at where they from, Texas, Florida,
Mississippi,
Alabama, Mississippi. I don't know why all the football players from down south. A lot of the basketball players are from up north. There are some down south basketball players, but the Hawks ain't about shit. Anyway, that's another story for a whole nother day. But yeah. The millennials are doing the damn thing. I forgot what I was saying just that fast. The millennials are doing the damn thing. We need to thank them and pray for them at the same time because they are the future. And we want them to carry this thing going and stop killing us. Stop killing us and stop robbing. Go get a damn job. Get some business about yourself, children. Especially in the ATL. Get them Chicago folks out of there. I'm sorry, Chicago. Look, we just got 10,000 subscribers and I don't know what state they came from.
Stop it.
And I'm too close to Chicago in New York City. Look, don't come fuck with me.
The last bitch that grabbed me found her head rammed in a damn gate. Don't me, I'm from Chicago, bitch.
But there are a lot of Chicago and Detroit and up north people that have moved to Atlanta and that has made Atlanta really bad. I don't understand how y'all did all that voting but couldn't get Stacey Abrams in her seat now. Y'all got some
they
answers.
ain't vote
Y'all
for
got
Steve. They ain't vote for her.
I don't know what happened with her. I don't know what's going on, but that's sad. Anyway, the new millennials, please go out and vote next time Stacey Abrams is on the ballot. She might go on the ballot this time because Kemp gonna be gone. Smart thing to do, right?
Right.
It's smart to run when Kemp is gone because it's clear you can't beat Kemp.
She got cleaned up when she messed up.
I got a big truck just in case I need to round up criminal illegals and take them home myself. Yep, I just said that.
That's Georgia's Secretary of State Brian Kemp. He's running for governor of Georgia, and he also controls who gets to vote for governor of Georgia.
Yeah, she got to just come back when Kemp is gone. Anyway,
it was just a blessing in disguise.